Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. How to protect yourself against negative influences. To protect yourself against negative influences, whether of your own making or the result of the activities of negative people around you, recognize that you have a willpower and put it into consume use until it build a wall of immunity against negative influence in your own mind. Recognize that fact that you and every other human being are by nature lazy, indifferent, and susceptible to all suggestions which harmonize with your weaknesses. Recognize that you are by nature susceptible to all the six basic fears. Six basic fears: a fear of poverty, a fear of criticism, a fear of in health, at the bottom of most of one's worries, a fear of loss of love of someone, a fear of old age, a fear of death, criticism, illness, loss of love, old age, death. To all the six basic fears and set up habits for the purpose of counteracting all these fears. Recognize the negative influence often work on you through your subconscious mind. Therefore, they are difficult to detect, and keep your mind closed against all people who depress or discourage you in any way. Clean out your medicine chest. Throw away all pill bottles and stop pandering to colds, ache, pain, and imaginary illness. Deliberately seek the company of people who influence you to think the act for yourself. Do not expect troubles, as they have a tendency not to disappoint. Without doubt, the most common weakness of all human beings is the habit of leaving their mind open to the negative influence of other people. The weakness of is all the most damaging because most people do not recognize that they were caused by it, and many who knowledge of it neglect or refuse to correct the evil until it becomes an uncontrollable part of their daily habit. To avoid those who wish to see themselves as they really are, the following list of questions has been prepared. Read the question and state your answers aloud so you can hear your own voice. This will make it easier for you to be truthful with yourself. Self-analysis test questions. Do you complain often of feeling bad? And if so, what's the cause? Do you find the fault with other people's at the slightest provocation? Do you frequently make a mistake in your work? And if so, why? Are you sarcastic and offensive in your conversation? Do you deliberately avoid association of anyone? If so, why? Do you suffer frequently with indigestion? If so, what's the cause? Does your life seem futile and future hopeless to you? Do you like your occupation? If not, why? Do you often feel self-pity? And if so, why? And you envious of those who excel you? To which do you devote most time thinking of success or of failure? Are you gaining or losing self-confidence as you grow older? Do you learn something of value from all mistakes? Are you permitting some relative acquaintance to worry you? If so, why? Are you sometimes in the clouds and at other times in the depths of despondency? Who has the most inspiring influence upon you? What's the cause? Do you tolerate negative or discouraging influences which you can avoid? Are you careless of your personal appearance? If so, when and why? Have you learned how to draw your troubles by being too busy to be annoyed by them? Would you call yourself a spineless weakling if you permitted others to do your thinking for you? Do you neglect internal bathing until auto intoxication makes you ill-tempered and irritable? How many preventable disturbances annoy you, and why do you tolerate them? Do you resort to liquor, narcotics, and cigarette to quiet your nerves? If so, why do you not try willpower instead? Does anyone nag you? If so, for what reason? Do you have a definite major purpose? And if so, what's it? And what plan have you for achieving it? Do you suffer from any of the 6 basic fears? If so, which ones? Have you a method by which you can shield yourself against the negative influence of others? Do you have a deliberate use of auto-suggestion to make your mind positive? Which do you value most, your material possession or your privilege of controlling your own thought? Are you easily influenced by others against your own judgment? Has today added anything of value to your stock of knowledge or state of mind? Do you face squally by circumstance which make you unhappy or sidestep the responsibility? Do you analyze all mistakes or failures and try to profit by them, or do you take the attitude that this is not your duty? Can you name 3 of your most damaging weaknesses? What are you doing to correct them? Do you encourage other people to bring their worries to you for sympathy? Do you choose from your daily experience, lessons, or influences which aid in your personal advancement? Does your presence have a negative influence on other people as a rule? What happened of other people annoy you most? Do you form your own opinions or permit yourself to be influenced by other people? Have you learned how to create a mental state of mind with which you can shield yourself against all discouraging influences? Does your occupation inspire you with faith and hope? Are you conscious of possessing spiritual forces of sufficient power to enable you to keep your mind free from all form of fear? Does your religion help to keep your mind positive? Do you feel it your duty to share other people's worries? If so, why? If you believe that birds of the feather flock together, what have you learned about yourself by studying the friends whom you attract? What connection, if any, do you see between the people with whom you associate most closely and any unhappiness you may experience? Could it be possible and some person whom you consider to be a friend is in reality your worst enemy because of his negative influence on your mind? By fun rules, do you judge who is helpful and who is damaging to you? Are you intimate associate mentally superior or inferior to you? How much time out of every 24 hours do you devote to your occupation, sleep, pay and relaxation, acquiring useful knowledge, plain waste? Who among your acquaintances encourage you most, caution you most, discourage you most? What's your great worry? Why do you tolerate it? When others offer you free, unsolicited advice, do you accept it without question or analyze their motive? Who or what above all else do you most desire? Do you intend to acquire it? Are you willing to subordinate all other desire for this one? How much time daily do you devote to acquiring it? Do you change your mind often? If so, why? Do you usually finish everything you begin? Are you easily impressed by other people's business or profession title, college degrees, or wealth? Are you easily influenced by what other people think or say of you? Do you cater to people? Do cater people because of their social or financial status? Whom do you believe to be greatest person living? In what respect is this person superior to yourself? How much time have you devoted to studying and answering these questions? At least one day is necessary for analyze and answering of the entire list. If you have answered all these questions truthfully, you know more about yourself than the majority of people. Study the question carefully, come back to them once each week for several months, and be astounded at the amount of the additional knowledge of great value to yourself you will have gained by the simple method of answering the question truthfully. If you are not certain concerning the answer to some of the questions, seek the counsel of those who know you well, especially those who have no motive in flattering you, and see yourself through their eyes. The experience will be astonishing.